Yes, this is a picture of my horse in my home that I'm about ready to lose. And it's all because of the fraudulent guardianships that are happening all over this country and my mother's guardianship. There is not a reason in the world that my mother needed a guardian. She didn't need one. She had a son that loved her more than anything in the world, but they forced it upon her. They forced it upon her, and then they isolated me from her where I can't see her. Then I had to hire attorneys to fight for her. I had to hire attorneys to fight so I could see her. So they create fees. That's what they do. Guardianships must be abolished. And the last thing I'll say is that there cannot be guardianships in America, because once you take the civil rights away from somebody, they're more vulnerable. So a murderer on death row has more rights than a person in a guardianship. Okay? So we have to go back to power of attorney. We should never take the rights away from an elderly person or even a young person or anybody unless they commit a crime. So therefore, it's my belief that the President Obama should abolish guardianship laws and go back to power of attorney, because for the last 30 years that we've had guardianships, they have only benefited judges, lawyers, and guardians to make $1 trillion a year. They're stealing $1 trillion a year from the American people, okay? And it doesn't benefit the families at all. All it's doing is stealing our families away from us, is stealing everything our families have earned for generations. It's unbelievable.
And you are losing your house in a foreclosure because of this guardianship?
Yes, I am.
Because of all the money that you've had to pay?
I paid every dime I had.
And who's this on the horse?
That's me.
And so this was your life?
This was my life
before the guardianships took over your life?
Yes. And I'm trying to save my house. I'm trying to save my house so that I could at least live in my house like I wanted to the rest of my life. Until these guardianships came out, it's destroyed our family and destroyed my life as well. If you can help, please help.
Let's help save his house. Let's start a Kickstarter campaign. Save his house. And how much are you behind on the foreclosure?
Well, I've been paying the mortgage, but it was with a private lender, and so what happened was I ended up losing my job because of this, and I'm working, but I'm only working part-time. And the private lender now, he's an opportunistic person. He wants to take my home, and so he wants $360,000 for the home, and I'm trying now to come up with that money to pay him off. But because the house is unfinished, I cannot get a conventional loan, and even if it was finished, I can't get a conventional loan because I don't make enough money to qualify for a loan of that value. But before
save his house.
Before this guardianship, I didn't owe anything on the house but $100,000. So before the guardianship, I was fine. Then everything was destroyed. This happens to everybody. Their lives are being destroyed by these judges, attorneys, and guardians. And this must be abolished. There's no room in our society for criminals like these judges. They should be put in jail, as well as these guardians. But the Florida bar is protecting them. Our police are not doing their job, and one of the last things, the most important thing, is our FBI are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. These are white-collar crimes. These are crimes of racketeering, extortion, and murder, and the FBI should be arresting these judges, attorneys, and guardians, and they have not done their job, and is why my mother is gone, why my mother has died. Because I went to the FBI 22 times. I went to the FBI to beg for their help, and they wouldn't do anything to help my mother.
Well, let's help his house. Let's help save his house so he doesn't lose his mother and everything.
Thank you.